accelerated consumption, and the collapse of desire. In an age dominated by hyper-commodification and ceaseless technological stimulation, everyday life has become a rapid procession of new products, services, and experiences. Advertisements, now powered by advanced AI, target individuals with uncanny precision, foretelling desires before they even articulate them. The result is a world where consumption is no longer a passive habit, but a constant race, a never-ending quest to fulfill hungers that have been artificially amplified and replicated. Below is a deeper exploration of this theme. Ever-escalating drive for the new. As algorithms refine their insights into human psychology, they tailor marketing campaigns that address our most primal impulses: fear, vanity, excitement, or comfort. Whether it's the latest wearable device, personalized virtual reality environments, or immersive service subscriptions, the promise of novelty is endless. Each time consumers satiate a desire, a fresh need is introduced, something more futuristic, more exclusive, or more context-aware. The result is a cultural norm that conflates identity with acquisition, destabilizing the line between what individuals genuinely want and what they are told to want. The exhaustion of desire. The deluge of new products and experiences creates a paradoxical effect. Despite having more choices than ever, many people find themselves trapped in cycles of emotional burnout. Once exhilarating purchases lose their luster almost immediately, rendered obsolete by the next wave of upgrades or features. As a consequence, a pervasive sense of dissatisfaction arises. People long for a moment of genuine fulfillment or deeper meaning. Yet the system is designed to keep them craving perpetually, ensuring each need is fleeting and each satisfaction is shallow. Algorithmic feedback loops. The advanced AI behind consumer platforms thrives on continuous engagement. By studying behavioral patterns, it can predict and recommend new items and experiences with uncanny accuracy, reinforcing the user's dependence on these platforms. Over time, personalized feeds become hyper-individualized, closing users off from broader perspectives. This isolation amplifies the intensity of the feedback loop, making personal cravings feel all-consuming, while also intensifying the feeling of emptiness when no purchase ever truly satisfies. Micro-subscriptions and unending payment cycles. Alongside an onslaught of new products, a shift occurs in how people pay for them. Instead of one-time purchases, companies push micro-subscriptions that fragment the consumer's budget into dozens, if not hundreds, of tiny, automated monthly charges. From upgraded emoticon packs to AI-assisted mood therapy, everything has a price point. The convenience of subscribe now obscures the mounting debt. Over time, consumers find themselves locked in a maze of transactional dependencies, their finances drained by 1,000 small cuts. Cultural fragmentation and identity crisis. In this environment, defining oneself becomes increasingly difficult. The notion of taste is more fluid than ever, shaped by viral trends that can flip in a matter of days. Many people cycle through phases, one month obsessed with post-human fashion, the next seeking extreme wilderness retreats, and the following month exploring nostalgic retro technologies. The acceleration of consumer culture leaves few stable reference points, leading to a widespread identity crisis. Who are we when everything can be bought and sold, and every passion fades into the next? Emotional dissociation and digital echo chambers. As desires become commoditized, the emotional weight behind them erodes. The pursuit of something new can feel more like a reflex than a genuine longing. Social media platforms, integrated into every corner of life, place users in echo chambers that magnify the validation of consumption. I must have this item because my timeline shows everyone else does. Over time, people lose touch with authentic emotional grounding, complicating relationships, self-image, and even aspirations. Counter-movements, minimalism, and digital detox. A reaction to this perpetual churn of desire, is the rise of countermovements. Minimalists, for instance, renounce superfluous products and the commercial noise that surrounds them, retreating into more self-sustaining and introspective lifestyles. Likewise, digital detox communities encourage periodic or even permanent disconnection from the algorithmic onslaught, hoping to rediscover a sense of genuine contentment and simplicity. Some of these groups manage to carve out enclaves, but many face existential tension, tempted back by the ease and allure of mainstream consumer society. The collapse of desire into nihilism. For those fully entrenched in the accelerated world, the realization that no purchase or experience ever leads to lasting satisfaction can spiral into nihilism. People may become jaded, scrolling through endless catalogs and promotional feeds with a sense of cynicism. Escapism, whether through virtual reality simulations, substance abuse, or hedonistic extremes, becomes a common refuge. The pervasive feeling that nothing means anything anymore spreads, and the line between authentic desire and artificially implanted craving blurs into meaninglessness. Inevitable turning points. In a civilization built upon perpetual consumption, sustainability, both ecological and psychological, eventually becomes untenable. Infrastructure strains under the weight of incessant manufacturing and disposal. Emotional well-being, too, deteriorates from the stress of constantly chasing the next new thing. Ultimately, society faces a defining crossroads. Double down on consumption. Innovate endlessly to keep the cycle going, leading to even more extreme commodification of every facet of life. Rediscover human values. Rethink collective goals, perhaps embracing voluntary simplicity, ecological equilibrium, and redefine notions of fulfillment. A world on the edge of emptiness. This scenario underscores a profound philosophical question. If all desires can be instantly manufactured, marketed, and delivered, do genuine desires or authentic aspirations still exist? And if real happiness is replaced by perpetually stimulated cravings, what does it mean to be human in this hyper-commercial age? The collapse of desire hints at a society perched at the brink of spiritual vacancy, where the endless quest for novelty leaves its citizens adrift in existential uncertainty. In a broader sense, accelerated consumption and the collapse of desire serve as a cautionary tale about the fragility of human fulfillment in a hyper-optimized market system. Like a cosmic treadmill that speeds up the faster we run, consumer culture spins us into a cycle of momentary highs and lingering disillusionment, gradually eroding the very core of what makes us aspire, dream, and hope in the first place.